Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm just way too busy to learn a new skill? Well, I've got some really good news for you. Today, we're diving into some fascinating research from Josh Kaufman that shows the biggest thing stopping you from learning isn't your schedule, it's something else entirely. So, this whole idea started for Kaufman when he and his wife had their first baby. He was tired, totally overwhelmed, and he had that one thought that hits every new parent. Well, that's it. I'm never going to have free time ever again. And for someone who loves learning new things, this felt like a disaster. So, being the kind of curious person he is, he headed to the library and just started digging. He wanted to answer one simple question. How long does it really take to learn something new? Not to become a world champion, but just to get pretty good at it. And the answer he kept finding over and over in books, on websites, everywhere, was this huge, terrifying number: 10,000 hours. I mean, let's put that in perspective for a second. 10,000 hours is like having a full-time job for 5 years straight. If that's really the price of admission to learn anything new, you might as well just not even bother, right? It just sounds completely impossible for most of us. Now, this idea got super popular from Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. And the rule basically says it takes that massive amount of time to reach expert-level performance. But as Kaufman found out, there's a pretty big misunderstanding about what that rule actually means. And here it is, the big mix-up. The original research wasn't about learning how to, knit a scarf or play a few songs on the guitar. It was studying elite, top-tier performers. We're talking world-class violinists, chess grandmasters, pro athletes. The 10,000 hours was what it took to get to the absolute pinnacle of those super competitive fields. And from there, it's like, we all played a giant game of telephone. The original idea, reaching the top of a field, got twisted into becoming an expert, which then got watered down to getting good, until finally we ended up with this totally wrong idea that it takes 10,000 hours just to learn something. So let me just say it as clearly as possible. That idea, that it takes 10,000 hours to learn a new skill, it is completely 100% false. Okay, so what's really going on? It's all about the learning curve. Think about it. When you first start anything, you make huge progress fast. You go from knowing literally nothing to knowing something pretty quickly. Those first few hours of practice are incredibly valuable. It's only way, way later that the progress starts to slow down. Which brings us back to the question that most of us actually care about. Not how long till I'm the best in the world, but how long does it take to go from being, totally clueless to being actually pretty good? And the answer, based on all of Kaufman's research, is pretty amazing. It's just 20 hours. Yeah, that's it. Just 20 hours. And when you actually break that down, it's so manageable. It's about 45 minutes a day for a month. All of a sudden, learning to code or paint or speak a new language, it doesn't seem so out of reach anymore, does it? Okay, but here's the one catch. It can't just be 20 hours of messing around. To make this work, it has to be focused, deliberate practice. There's a method to it, a way to make sure those 20 hours are as powerful as they can possibly be.
And that method is actually really simple. It breaks down into just 4 steps. First, you deconstruct the skill. Second, you learn just enough to notice your own mistakes. Third, you get rid of anything that might get in the way. And fourth, you commit to practicing for at least those 20 hours.
All right, step 1, deconstruct the skill. Most things that seem really big and complicated are actually just a bunch of smaller skills bundled together. The trick is to break it all down into tiny pieces and then figure out what are the most important parts and practice those first. Kaufman's example of learning the ukulele is perfect. He wanted to play pop songs, so instead of trying to learn hundreds of chords from a book, he noticed that most of the songs he liked used the exact same 4 or 5 chords. So he just focused on those few, and boom, he was playing actual songs in no time. Step 2, learn just enough to self-correct. This is so important. Grab 3 or 4 resources, a book, a video, whatever, but only learn enough so that you can tell when you're making a mistake and fix it. Don't fall into the trap of using research as a way to put off actually practicing. Step 3 is really simple but absolutely critical. Remove your barriers to practice. That means turning off the TV, putting your phone on silent in another room, whatever it takes. You have to use a little bit of willpower to get rid of the things that are designed to pull your attention away. And finally, step 4, pre-commit to at least 20 hours of practice. Now, why is this so important? Because there's always that initial frustration barrier. It's that part at the beginning where you feel really dumb and incompetent. By deciding ahead of time that you're going to stick it out for 20 hours, you give yourself the push you need to get through that tough part. And this, right here, is the real heart of the whole idea. The biggest thing that stops us from learning something new isn't how smart we are. It has nothing to do with that. The major barrier is emotional. Plain and simple. We're scared. I mean, think about it. Nobody likes to feel stupid. And when you're a total beginner at something, you feel really stupid. It's that uncomfortable feeling of incompetence that stops so many people from ever even starting. That 20-hour commitment is your secret weapon to push past that feeling. So once you realize that the barrier is emotional, not intellectual, and you use these 4 simple steps, you really can learn just about anything. Which leaves just one question left. What are you going to learn in your first 20 hours?